Mindful Life Practice community.
All right, all the housekeeping aside, let's come into a seated posture. And I'm going to mute everyone. Awesome. So what we're going to do in this practice is we're going to do a very short meditation. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to either do a little bit of journaling, or if you don't have your journal accessible, you could also just reflect on the prompt. And then we'll move into our yoga practice. So if you want to, I'll invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your navel. And this practice is called self-holding. I find this a very anchoring practice when your mind feels busy or you have a lot going on. It can be very anchoring. Help you connect to your breath and help you connect to your body. So I'm going to invite you while you're sitting here to begin by asking yourself, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? True change, which is what we want when we're manifesting. It requires an inner shift. Let this meditation guide you to your new energy. Because when you change your energy, you can change your life. So how do you want to feel? Be unapologetic about how you want to feel. Breathe into any feelings that these images call up. If there's anything blocking you or holding you back, can you breathe into that and just let it go? Breathing long and deep and guiding your thoughts towards images and memories and experiences that help you imagine how you want to feel. And then just let your mind begin to wander, imagining the world and the experiences that you want to see. Seeing yourself in the change and the shifts that you dream of. Seeing yourself being the person that you've envisioned. With every breath, connecting more and more deeply to the feelings that are ignited by these images. And if there's anything in particular that's coming up for you, maybe it's a job that you're dreaming of. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a relationship with a thing, like alcohol or food, or maybe it's a connection that you're trying to let go of. Whatever you want to manifest and call into your life right now, I want you to hold on to that. For a few more breaths. And then I'll just invite you, when you're ready, if your eyes have closed, you can gently bring them to open. And then if you have a journal nearby, I'm going to invite you to add into your journal, I am so grateful, or I am so happy now that I have. So I am so grateful, or I am so happy now that I have. And whatever you have manifested, whatever you're imagining, I want you to write about it as if it's already happened. So I'm so grateful now that I have quit my job, or I'm so grateful now that I have the house I've always dreamed of. And I'm going to give you guys just a moment of writing. And as you're doing that, I'm going to get a little bit of music going. Just another minute. bless you. I'm just chuckling to myself. I've just retired from teaching. And it's 6 years of like, okay, guys, I'm not done yet. It's nice having adults in here who, I swear, if I was with my grade 1 kids, they would literally be unmuting themselves to tell me they're not done. I'm like, I'm gonna put you on mute. All right, let's start moving. So we're just gonna do a little bit of gentle movement before we drop into stillness. So I'm gonna invite you to sweep your palms up towards the sky. Nice. Exhaling your palms through heart center. And let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, palms through heart center. Big breath in. Big breath out. Take the palms through heart center. And then this time, let's inhale, arms up. And then we're going to land our right palm and then just reach our left palm over to the right. And inhale, arms all the way up. Take the left palm and then reach the right arm over to the left. Good. Let's lift all the way up. Big breath in. And then just do a little rotation over to the right. Anchor your left palm on your right knee. Gaze over the right shoulder. And then breathe the arms up towards the sky. And then let's rotate the other way. Nice. Eventually take a big inhale, gather your palms upwards, and then just connect them inwards. We're going to transition onto our hands and knees just for a little cat-cow pose. So coming onto your hands and your knees. And then on an inhale, you can tilt at the pelvis. And then on an exhale, curl the spine and tuck the chin. Taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So I know I've shared bits and pieces of my journey on social media and in different yoga classes, and I'm sure many of you have heard different aspects of my journey before. Let's do one more cat-cow. And then we're gonna come all the way into a neutral and then just allow the knees to come wide. Toes can touch. We're gonna drop into a child's pose and you can be sitting on the heels, resting your forehead. If you feel like it, it can sometimes be nice to have a little pillow or a bolster underneath your body. Resting one cheek. Nice. So I mentioned a little bit about why the manifestation practice interests me so much. So all my life, I dreamed of being a full-time yoga teacher. Like ever since I was a young kid. And I just didn't believe that I was good enough. I didn't think that I could sustain my career. I didn't think that I could do this full-time and survive. And around 30 days after I got sober, my assistant teacher suggested that I go meet her psychic. And I went into his parents' house, drive up to a stranger's house in Dubai, enter the door. He told me to close my eyes, count backwards from 21. And when I opened my eyes, he said, "You were never meant to be a school teacher. You were meant to be a healer." And he helped me create this vision in my head of what has been built now, which is the mindful life practice. He even helped me come up with this name. And I didn't understand this to be manifestation until years later. But what I understand, all that changed is that I stopped saying that I could not do it. And I started acting as if. I started acting as if this was my future instead of acting as if it wasn't. Right? All of us have this ever-present loving energy within us and around us, supporting us every step of the way, but we have to choose to tune into that energy. And we have to trust. And we have to decide that we're worthy of it. So maybe your intention is, I'm worthy of feeling good. Good. Take a few more breaths exactly as you are in this child's pose. And we're going to do a little bit of hip opening next. So we're going to come all the way up. And we're going to slide that cushion to the side if you're on a cushion. And you're going to come forward onto your back body. Leave your left foot, cross your right ankle onto your left thigh, push your right palm into your right thigh and flex your right toes. So this is the thread the needle. Hope you guys can see me. I realize I'm doing it to the side. So you're crossing your ankle on top of your knee, and you can stay like this, or you might lift the foot up and interlace the palms on the thigh or the shin. Good. And so in our yin yoga practice, we hold these stretches for a long period of time. Getting deep into the tissue, getting deep into the ligaments. And the reason why I personally choose to get into the hips and the heart in these manifestation practices is for two reasons. The hips is the area where we carry our tension. It's the emotional junk drawer. It's where we park all of the stuff. And so when we when we stretch the hips, when we release the hips, we start to create space in our life for ease, for softness, for simplicity. for all of the emotions that we want to attract into our lives. Take a few more breaths. And then we're going to move into this stretch the opposite way. So we're going to land our left foot, land our right foot, and then switch by crossing the left ankle onto the right thigh, pushing the left palm into the left thigh, staying here or lifting off, interlacing the palms on the thigh or the shin. So this is why we work on the hips. Humans generally in the 21st century, I think that's the century we're in, 2021, that's the year we're in anyway. We have tight hips, and it's because we sit down and we're living in lockdowns, and we drive our cars and we sit at desks. And I also like to work on poses that open the heart. And the reason why I choose heart opening poses is because this is a part of the body where, again, is often quite closed. We hunch over our laptops, our cell phones. And we also live in a world that's not very vulnerable. And so when we practice opening through our heart, we create space for loving energy to come in and both come in and radiate out. Stay in this hip opening pose for just a few more breaths. Good, and then just land the right foot, land the left foot, and then maybe rock the knees from side to side. And then we're going to come into a heart opening shape next. So we're going to come back up onto our hands and our knees. Nice. And then there's a couple different ways that you can do this. If you do have yoga blocks, you can use them. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can buy the Mindful Life practice blocks. I'm just kidding. You can also use books. But this is a nice shoulder opener if you do have blocks. You can have your elbows on the blocks, and then you can rest your forehead on the mat and your palms can press together. So this is one option. It's just a deeper shoulder stretch. And if you don't have blocks or your shoulders do not feel like that right now, you can also just come onto the mat like this. This is called puppy pose. It's a heart opener. In yin yoga, we call it melting heart. The reason why these poses have two different names is because there's two different intentions. So when we do this pose in vinyasa yoga, which is more yang, more active, more strong, It's referred to as puppy pose. And it's called melting heart in yin because the intention is a bit more softness. It's a bit more letting go. We're slowing down. Because in stillness, that's when we receive. Slowing down and listening to what the universe is guiding you towards. Focusing on the good in our lives and appreciating everything that is. And just trusting that the universe has big plans for us, even when we can't see the results. Even when we can't see them unfolding exactly as we planned, exactly as we dreamed. Good. Just take a few more breaths exactly as you are. And then we're going to come up and come forward into one more pose. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to come onto our navel, resting at our elbows, opening through the heart. There's a few different variations that you can do of this pose. You can stay exactly where you are. This is called Sphinx. And if you would like to take the back bend a little deeper, you can also walk your palms a little bit wider to the side and pressing through the palms and lifting the heart up. Just really being mindful of what your body is telling you because it knows. It knows what is right. And the reality is that all of us have been through a completely different journey throughout our lifetimes. So poses will land differently in each of our bodies. And that doesn't mean that anyone is better at yoga because they can get deeper into a pose. It doesn't mean that anyone is worse at yoga. It's just different. Notice whatever is coming up in your mind right now, if it's discomfort, if it's boredom. Maybe it's stress of all the things on your to-do list. know that you are really capable of shaping that experience. So in what way can you comfort yourself? Can you change the narrative in your head? Can you remind yourself that you are not going to be in this pose forever? The discomfort will pass. Nothing lasts forever. Take one more breath. And then come all the way down. And then just bring the palms to stack and rest the forehead. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then breathing out. And so we're going to come into a little bit of a twist. So what we're going to do, you can be on your Sphinx arms. You're just going to let your right knee creep all the way up alongside you. So this is like a hip opening. Forget what this pose is called. From this pose, you can let your right elbow lift off. You're going to thread your left arm through, and then you're going to spiral your heart open. It's a super nice, deep way to get into a pose. And I love it because this is essentially a normal spinal twist, right? But the way that we're entering it is different than normal. Normally, we just lay on our back and we drop our right knee to the side, right? So it's not that different than a basic twist, but it feels quite different, doesn't it? At least it does for me. I don't want to define your experience, but for me, it feels different. And it shows how sometimes looking at things from a different perspective can change the experience. Entering things from a new point of view. Take a few more breaths exactly as you are in your twist. And then we're going to unwind. Just gently coming all the way back around to the navel. Maybe giving your whole body a moment in neutral to just feel how that pose washed over you. And then we'll take it the opposite way. You can come up onto the elbows. We can draw the left knee across. Lift at the left elbow, thread the right arm through, and then open your body the opposite way. And I wonder if there's any affirmations that would help with your manifestation. want to give you an example. All my life, I've worried about money. All my life. And that stems from an early experience in my teenagehood when money was tight in my family. And I was worried that we didn't have enough. And so I've always lived my life with this stress that I didn't have enough or I was not going to have enough. And I do see now that I think I was manifesting that stress into my life, manifesting that worry. And whenever I catch myself being worried that I don't have enough, I try to interfere with that thought and I say, you know, I deserve abundance. The universe is abundance. It flows to me. And just switching my thoughts has created a powerful, different reality for me. I mean, here I am now doing what I love full time. This is my full-time job now, which I never dreamed of would be a reality. So I wonder if you have any affirmations that you can hold on to. Maybe I am a super attractor. That's a Gabby Bernstein one I love. I am a super attractor. Take one more breath in your twist. And then just gently unwind. Good. And I'm going to invite you, just take a moment in neutral. And then you're going to make your way into whatever your final resting pose might be. It might be in a shavasana on your back. I always prefer butterfly with my feet together, my knees knocking wide. You might like seated. The only rule is that this final pose is a container for you to process your practice. So no headstands. Needs to be something that is going to help you integrate everything that we have fostered and focused on for the last hour. Know that I'm going to bring you back in a moment or two when the time is up. May the long time sun shine down on you and always surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way home. Guide your way home. May the long time sun shine down on you and always surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way home. Guide your way home. Guide your way home. Give your fingers and toes a little wake up wiggle. Running a nice long stretch through the spine. Curling your knees into your chest. Good, making your way all the way up to a seated shape. Gathering your palms at your heart center. I am a huge stickler for time, but I apologize. This class ends in 1 minute. If you have to zip out, feel free. Otherwise, we're just going to close with our intention. And it's an ancient intention, but it's the original intention of yoga. And it was passed with love from the heart of my yoga teacher, Rolf. And I pass it onwards to you. And it's that our practice remain an anchor that is ever present with us throughout the storms in our lives. And that it has a ripple effect outwards, and that it helps and heals not just us as individuals, but the people directly connected to us. And the peace that we cultivate here will touch them. And then they will carry that onwards and outwards. And in this way, our yoga practice serves not just us, but our collective society as a whole. May all beings be happy. May they all be healthy. May they all be free. And may the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So if you'd like to join me for an Om sound, we're going to inhale and exhale, and then inhale through to make the Om. So take a large breath in, and then an emptying breath out, and then a filling breath in. Thank you so much for joining for this practice. We literally have the world in this Zoom room, and it's so incredible to be connected to all of you. I really am grateful for, and I appreciate each one of you. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.